All right, good morning, ladies. Thank you for tuning in. Today we are talking about the most requested topic I've had in months, and it is all about mindset and motivation in a weight loss journey, a fitness journey, all that good stuff. So it's going to be a couple different topics I want to hit on because some of these topics can get a little bit kind of intertwined. So I have a couple notes that I want to hit on. So I have a screen up behind this. So if you listen to me look off to the side, I just want to make sure I get everything. So I've been thinking about this video for you ladies for a very long time. So first, let's talk about getting started in a weight loss journey, especially if it's been something that you've been thinking about for a really, really, really long time. You want to lose weight, but then you just don't do anything about it. You want to start getting more healthy and you just don't do anything about it. You want to lose maybe a lot of weight, and the thought of how long your journey is deters you from even wanting to start, so you just don't think about it. So the more you put it off like this, the larger and larger this mountain that you feel like you need to climb gets, and it just builds and builds and builds, and then you just never start because you're waiting for the motivation. You're waiting for the motivation to start the fitness journey because it looks super hard, so you have to wait to be motivated. And I'm going to say something that everyone's going to be mad at. It's not coming. You are not going to wake up one day with a lightning bolt strike of like, today's the day I'm gonna start my journey. It's just not like that. Man, that would be so fun if it was. Everybody wake up and you're like, lightning bolt, please. And then all of a sudden you're really motivated and you just lose weight and it's so great. Doesn't always happen like that. Yeah, there's gonna be times where you're like, I'm done feeling like this. I'm all in, let's go. And that like you have this kind of like zest slash a little bit of just, I hate where I am so much right now, that kind of gets you going the right direction. But there's never going to be this like, boom, I'm motivated. And then everything else is just smooth sailing because I'm like, oh, so motivated. In the majority of the population, there's going to be a catalyst. Maybe it is your safety genes all of a sudden don't fit. Shut. The safety genes don't fit. All right, maybe it was you saw your a recent family photo. Maybe you did like Christmas photos or something, or family photos, and you saw what you look like and you are just mortified. That can be a very powerful catalyst to take the first step and like, I'm hiring a coach, I'm over the shit, you hit the gym, like all of a sudden, like you have it. But then like after that initial trigger, you have to find a way to keep going. And in those moments, instead of waiting for the lightning bolt of motivation to hit you, and it's all going to be great, you have to actually just do it. I forget the exact quote. I read it, I was on another fitness account, and it was along the lines of like, action itself can spark motivation. You have to do the thing sometimes to then get motivated to do the thing. You can't always wait for motivation to hit and then you start doing the things. Sometimes you just have to start doing the things and just suck it up and just do the things. And then all of a sudden it gets motivating. I had a great talk with a client recently about, she's like, I want this to be second nature. I want health and fitness and weight loss and all just a healthy lifestyle, and me going to the gym. I just want it to be second nature to me. And all of it was new in regards to like regular exercise and, being a little bit more mindful with nutrition, things like that. All of it was new. A few weeks in it, she's like, I just want it to be second nature, and it's not second nature yet. And I'm like, we've been to the gym like 4 times in 2.5, 3 weeks. Like we're missing workouts, and like, that's more of like a different conversation, but you have to earn it for it to be like second nature. You have to show up. You have to show up enough and keep doing the things and keep doing the things. And then that motivates you to keep doing the things and then do more things. But you have to remember that not every day, even for someone who maybe, let's use like me as an example. Most of you know what I look like by now, is I didn't lose a ton of weight because I was like so motivated every single day. No, even someone in my shoes now were like, I really don't have weight to lose now. Like I'm just chilling. I'm at my maintenance mode, which is like totally fine. It's great. And I love it. I don't want to go to the gym every day, but I do it anyway because I've done it enough where I know how it makes me feel. And sometimes you just need to put on your big girl pants and realize sometimes you just need to rely on discipline over motivation. It's not going to be a lightning bolt strike. It is not some magic trick or secret that any of us are hiding from you. Sometimes you just have to realize that you got to put on your big girl pants and you just got to get some shit done. then let's talk about motivation around like food. Maybe you're at a holiday party and you found the cookies. Or you found like the dips, and like the finger foods and like the salted nuts, and like you found it. You're like, oh, someone hold me back. It's about to get lit up in here. Like, I'm that person. Like, don't let me like just have free reign over like the dip area. It's going down. So in those instances when it's just like, oh, I have so little self-control, I don't know really what to do, I wish I had more motivation. Let me know if you have not seen my video on like literally self-control and like mindset around those specific situations. Like, leave a comment or like send me a direct message and I will literally send you that video. That's an entire different scenario. But in those moments, those specific moments, you have to be an adult. You have to realize that sometimes it's not always super, super easy and super, super simple for everyone else. And you need to take a step backwards, put on your big girl pants, and remember why you're doing it. You have to realize that sometimes in the moment sacrifices need to be made for the long-term goal. You have to realize that we are not a toddler and we don't have to throw a fit if we just can't eat the thing right now. Sometimes we can't have that instant gratification if we have very serious goals we're going for. Other times, it's okay to exercise some self-control and enjoy some treats mindfully. But again, that's not exactly where this video training is about. This is all about motivation. And it's not a magic sprinkle dust or a magic like ritual or anything. You have to create it. You have to create a lifestyle that you can find motivation in what you do and how you feel. Maybe you just really didn't want to go to the gym. You didn't, and then you saw this live and you're like, oh my God, she was so annoying, but fine, whatever. I'll just go to the stupid gym. I'll put on my big girl pants and just do it. And then all of a sudden walking out of the gym, you're like, oh, I feel like a bad bitch now. Like, I just, oh, I feel good now. That motivation followed you taking action. So you need to remember how that feels. And then eventually that will motivate you to be more regular. Then it becomes a habit. Then on the days that you, just don't want to do it, you can rely on discipline because it is a habit and you're an adult and you know how to get it done. Going a different direction, because I wanted to hit a couple different pockets in this, is how we talk to ourselves about what we're trying to accomplish. I'm going to use an example. It's one of my favorite examples of all time. My older brother was a really gifted swimmer. And so he swam like all of his life, like when he was really young, and then like swam like through middle school, through like high school. He was recruited to go swim at college and he was like, nah, I really don't like swimming. He just like, I'm done. So he was really good, but he also hated swimming. He was just good at it. He liked being good at it. And I remember he was in high school. I don't know if he was like a junior or senior. I think I was either like just in high school or I was in middle school, and I just overheard the conversation and it struck me. And my mom just was really honest with him. She's like, I know these morning practices when it's like 20 degrees outside and then you have to go jump in a cold pool, even though the pool's inside, like it's still cold. Like, I know it's not fun, but you chose this. You signed up. You chose to remain on the swim team. And sometimes that takes 2 days and these things. She's like, if every day you're like, I don't want to go to practice. This is stupid. It sucks. It's cold. Like, if you treat it like that, you're gonna hate it every step of the way. So like, if you're at work and you're supposed to go to the gym after work, and like by the time lunchtime hits, you're like, I don't want to go to the gym. Oh, the gym's gonna suck so bad. I just want to go home. I don't want to go. Like, of course it's going to suck. Everything would suck if you have the attitude to be like, I don't want to go to Disney World. You can like build something up in your head to completely change your experience. So my mom told my brother, she's like, maybe just stop hating it so much and not like have that dialogue of like, I don't want to go. It's going to be stupid. It's going to be awful. And just go, or change a different level. Like, I'm going to enjoy seeing some of my buddies at practice. Like, just change the verbiage in your mindset and how you shift it. And he told her, a high school boy told his mother, you were right. If that magic voodoo works on a high school boy and he tells his mother, it's going to work on you. So I am really careful with what I say on social media, and when I'm like going to the gym, I'm really honest. If I'm just like having a rough day and I'm like, I did not want to go today, but I'm here and I'm glad I'm here, I'm honest. Some days I have that. But usually I'm using the verbiage, I cannot wait to get to the gym. This has been a really challenging work day, really stressful. I'm so excited. I get to work out later. I just need some exercise. Like, I'm so excited. I get to go to the gym. I reward myself with a great workout after I get my work done. I'm really stressed out. There's a lot of shit going on. I just need to get to the gym, throw in some music, and just go. I know that works for me. So I can change my verbiage instead of just dreading it the entire day. Make it something you look forward to. Change the dialogue, and you can completely change your perception of it for sure. But there's going to be times when you are just going to be in a funk. Like, even think about any relationship that you had, whether you've been in a long-term relationship, you're married, you're not married, whatever. Even if it's been a really, really good relationship and you're still in it, you know, there are seasons, there's like week-long periods, there are month-long periods where you guys are like totally vibing. You're like, like I got my person, our communication, like we are just on fire. Like you got your person, it is going well. And then you just have like a week, sometimes a day, sometimes a week, could be even like a month. It's like seasons where you're just like, we are not on the same page, I'm going to kill you. Ah! Like it just happens. It's going to be okay, but the expectation that like a relationship is all like sparkles and rainbows and there's no hard times, that would leave every relationship in the gutter, because every relationship has hard times. You ebb and flow with how good like your vibe and your communication. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be moments that the person you are meant to be with for the rest of your life you want to kill. We all have those moments, and it's okay because we do not act on those feelings. It's going to be like that in your relationship with your healthy lifestyle. The relationship you have with food. The relationship you have with your exercise. It's a relationship, and it's an ongoing thing that needs nurturing. And there's going to be some times where your relationship with food, you feel so great about your choices. It is easy for you to make choices that you feel really good about. And then there's going to be times where you're like, oh, this is so hard. I just want to eat like shit and eat margaritas and tacos and that's okay. And sometimes we need to just let our hair down a little bit, but just don't go into complete fuck it mode. But you're allowed to not be so on point all the time with your motivation. Sometimes you're just going through the motions at the gym. You're just doing it. You know it makes you feel better, so you're just kind of just doing it. You're just doing it. It's whatever. The motivation will come back. Sometimes you're going to have it. Sometimes you're not, but you just have to keep going. So where I want to go next is talking about the just completely going off the deep end into like a fuck it mode in regards to motivation. So this was actually something that happened recently with a client. We actually are having this dialogue like currently. It's still going on, and she's lost, I don't know, but I think the last time we checked it was like 17, 18-ish pounds, like right around there in a pretty short period of time. It's awesome. She's taken weekends off. She's traveled, all the good things. And now travel hasn't been happening as much, but it's the holidays. She works in a hospital and there's a lot of treats. And she's just like, I'm starting to lose my self-control. I'm starting to lose my vigor. I'm losing a little bit of motivation. Oh God, like help me. And I love clients like this. That's why I work one-on-one with clients. That's why if you work with a coach on Team HLB, you have a person to have these conversations with, not just like, here's your check-in, here's your macros. That's not helping anybody. So motivation for her is waning and she was super honest, which was great. Her weight loss journey started with this full force, I am so uncomfortable in my body, so help me. It was basically fueled by pure hatred. That's how mine was too at first. Like, you're just so snarling ready to get away from where you are that you are just full steam ahead. Yeah! Well, now, good problem to have for this client of mine. She's like, I don't hate my body anymore. I have more self-confidence than I have had my entire adult life. Like, I am very happy in my body. So she's like, am I where I want to be ultimately? She has some more lofty goals, which is completely fine. But she's like, I don't have that like self, like I gotta not be here. Like almost that little bit of self-hatred, like pulling me along in this journey anymore. Like, oh shit, like now what do I do? And she's starting to get a little touchy around all the food. And she's been dieting for a little while. So I gave her permission, something that she's like, no one's ever given me permission before to do something like this. I'm like, we take a break. If you're a lifestyle client, which like 99.9% of you following me or like watching my videos are lifestyle clients, I don't compete. I'm not a physique competitor. I've never been on stage, and that's totally fine. And if that's where you want to go, also totally fine. But this woman, I don't take those clients. So we don't have a timeline. It's also not like she has to get her ass in a wedding dress that she bought and it's a little snug, like, oh shit, it's got a zip. Like, those are different conversations. It's a lifestyle client. She's like, I just would like to be a bit leaner. I want to see some lines. I've been lifting more than ever before. I'm feeling like a total badass, which is so great. But I'm losing my zest a little bit. I'm like, okay, so the last thing we want to do is be like, suck it up, stay motivated, put on your adult pants, and just show up because these goals matter. No. I'm like, all right, why don't we pump the brakes? We're going to pull on what's called a strategic diet break, increase her calories. I dropped her cardio volume by 50%. She's not even doing that much. She's doing less now than she was before, and I dropped it even more. And like, let's just pump the brakes, give you more flexibility, give you more food, bring you back to life. Let's just coast through the holidays, maintaining all the weight you've already lost. Then come the new year, when the entire world is on a diet in January, then it's going to be a lot easier to go back in because there's not going to be all those treats in your face every single day. The wrong thing would have been to be like, suck it up, push harder, when she's already feeling a pull, like, I'm not as motivated, like, oh God, like, I feel me tipping. The last thing you want to do is say, suck it up and keep going, because then she's going to break at some point and then eat her face off for a few days, maybe just a day, maybe just at work. But then there's going to be considerable backlash in regards to your physique when you do something like that. Instead of taking an intentional diet break, maintaining composure, giving yourself a little bit more flexibility while maintaining your weight loss through the season, looking totally fine, and then you get to go into the harder goals come January. That was the right conversation for her. So if you are really struggling with motivation, you've been on a diet for a while, you're really struggling, I've been there. If there is no reason why you have to get there like now, like get to your goal now, I know you want to get there now, but be smart about it. Taking a little bit longer to get there by putting in diet breaks, leaving room for life, allowing room for a lifestyle and things to happen, and you have to kind of like roll with the punches, you will get there and stay there actually faster than the person who tries to just beeline your way there. And you don't need to leave room for life. You take no days off. You're never going to break. You're never going to break. You break and then you go back like 20 steps. Then you got to start over. So by trying to get there faster and just suck it up, you might actually end up taking longer and it sucking way more. Leave room for life. So if sometimes you just are in a funk and you're like, no, I don't need a diet break. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm just in a funk. I'm like, all right, then just put one foot in front of the other until this passes. That's okay. As a female, if you have a regular healthy cycle, I would recommend you track it, because there's going to be at least a handful of days every single month, and they're going to fall on the same days every single month when you just want to kill a bitch, when you just don't want to do anything, and that's okay. And learn to expect them. You're going to have days you don't want to do it. You're going to have days that you do want to do it, but how you shape your dialogue. I get to work out. I'm excited to work out, instead of I don't want to work out. And instead of just waiting for a lightning bolt of motivation to strike, you can foster an environment conducive to feeling motivated more often than not. And then when you're not, you lean on your support system, your coach, a workout buddy, whatever, your spouse, and realize if motivation is really in the tank and you're feeling way more touchy about like, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. I think her words were, I think I want to have a box of mac and cheese and a bowl of cereal for dinner, followed by like washed down with a craft beer, followed by several more craft beers. I'm just like, all right, like I have said like similar words, and like, all right, we need to just rein it back in strategically before we break and actually go there. So if you need to take a break for your lifestyle, that is so the right choice. If motivation is just like zilch, that's okay. It makes you human. It would be weird if it didn't happen. So hopefully this was helpful for you ladies, especially if you're watching this live or in the like near future. It is the holiday season. If you're watching this later, you can always request this from me later, but I actually have a free ebook and a guide on literally how to navigate specifically the holidays, but it's very, very applicable for just social situations in general. Maybe like you guys get like ransacked in March with like birthdays, anniversaries, like all the things you're like, what is this month? It just keeps like raining on me. And there's really some specific things that you can do to make it way easier, to help you kind of like navigate through like a really busy like holiday season or whatever it is, to enjoy some things at the parties, not feel like you have to say no to everything, but not completely lose your shit and then just go off the deep end. And then you're like, you come up for air 2.5 weeks later, like, what happened? why do none of my clothes fit and my farts smell funny? Like, we can do some serious damage this season if we try to just stay on the plan. You gotta have a little bit of fun, but you can do so in a mindful way where you don't completely forego all of your health, fitness, physique, weight loss, whatever goals that you have. So if you want that, that is in my bio on Instagram, and it is like the anti-holiday weight gain, but it is literally 10 steps. 10 steps. The whole guide's free, but all 10 steps are free things, little things that you can do right now, today, to really just walk your way through the rest of this holiday season with a little bit more grace and poise than you think you can even have. So check that out. Let me know if you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, I would start typing now because I'm running out of things to say. So I do not see any questions coming through. I'll give you guys a little bit of a minute. And if you watch the playback on this, again, if you have any questions or want to run anything by me, of course, ask, drop a comment, shoot me a direct message. I'm super happy to help, but thank you guys so much for coming. Looks like no one has any specific questions, so I'm going to sign off, and I'll catch you later.